welcome. Tonight is Tuesday, July 7th. It is the Board of Education meeting. We are currently in session. Can I please, everybody rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the reorganization agenda as presented?
The consent agenda.
Well, I was going to do it, but okay. So
Okay.
can I get a motion to approve the reorganization consent agenda, which would be section
So
5.0? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Can I get there are several, there's motions to approve our attorneys, our district auditors, and personnel, various, the district treasurer, purchasing agent, the approval of appointments. It's listed within section 3.0. Can I get a motion to approve those positions?
So moved.
Second?
Aye.
That brings us to section 4.0, which would be the oaths of office. The first one would be for the superintendent of schools.
I, Joseph Hochreiter, I have to say that?
Only.
Solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and I will faithfully discharge duties of superintendent of schools of the Hendrick Hudson Central School District according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Welcome
Thank you.
aboard.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
You're back.
We can't ad lib in here, right?
If you would like.
After the meeting.
We'll do it separate.
After the
The oath of the office to the district clerk.
Okay.
So you need to take the oath of office.
I, Roseanne Squilanti, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of District Clerk of the Hendrick Hudson Central School District according to the best of my ability.
Thank you.
Thank
Now we need the oath of office for the newly
Do we
elected
need to
board.
approve these or to accept these, or will we do that all at once, or is that not? It's
No,
not-
it just
okay.
as long as we do
Just
the oath
making
of
sure.
office, we're good. So now for,
Would be the newly elected board members, and that would be Lori and I.
yes,
You can
We.
do together. I, Mary Pat Briggy.
I, Lori Ryan,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of board trustee
of the Hendrick Hudson Central School District.
according to the best of my ability.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yay. Can I stop the Constitution of the United States? Can I just
Yeah.
stop that?
Hey, just because you don't like. Okay, the next would be the election of president for 2015-16.
Yes.
Um,
Are there nominations for president?
Mary Peppery.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? No. Is it unanimous?
It is.
Yep.
Okay.
Here, here.
Thank you.
There being no further nominations, the vote is carried unanimously.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That brings us to the election of vice president, and I would like to nominate Barbara Pedersen.
Okay. Are there any other nominations?
No.
No. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, Barb.
You're back. I think I just saw Joe get a little bit like green. Greener.
More gray hair.
It doesn't match.
Well, you missed it today.
not
John's
my-
working at Home Depot earlier.
With his orange
Now he's got the big
I
head.
wore a Tommy Bahama orange Hawaiian shirt.
So I told him he was going to his job at Home Depot afterwards.
And now he's got his
So now he's
bed.
like-
So now you're doing the oath of office again for president and vice president.
I, Mary Pat Briggy.
I, Barbara Pedersen.
Oh, they're separate.
Oh,
Well, we could still do it.
okay.
Do
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of board vice president
and board president
of the Hendrick Hudson Central School District
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you to the rest of the board for voting for us once again.
Well,
Thank you.
I'll take that envelope
What
later.
happened? Somebody wanted something?
It's got change in it.
Thank you both for taking on the responsibilities and the duties. It's a
You're
big-
welcome. Thank you for your faith in us.
So we took care of that, and that brings us to,
Okay. Thank you for that word. Yes, that's what I was looking for.
We move to item 7, then we're at the regular board.
items removed from the consent agenda. I don't believe there were any.
No.
So, we're good. That brings us to our regular meeting agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda for the regular meeting as presented?
So moved.
Are there any items anybody would like to pull? Can I get a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda?
I thought you did it like 2 weeks ago.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. That brings us to the items removed, and that would be the acceptance of donations. That would be for the transportation breakfast, donation from Barnes & Noble and Frank G. Lindsay Target.
And there was a 4th one added
That was added, it's,
from the
Yeah,
BVPTA.
or BVPTA
and that was, is this rough?
over at Gatehouse
And it's the BVPTA, and it was in the amount of $7,789.
Nice.
Nice.
For a, the PTA, the PTA is subsidizing a public announcement speaker system for the BV Gymnasium.
Cool.
Thank you very much to the BVPTA. I'm sure that will be very helpful. I know that, I know they use it in the middle school has, such, and it's used very, very often, and it comes in very helpful for the big events.
Well,
So,
both for the big events and also Mr. Kissinger uses
In
it
the
for
gym.
educational
Right.
for
purposes.
just regular drink classes?
Yes, and he incorporates music and things like that into it. It's really
That's
cool.
terrific. Can I get a motion to approve these 4 donations?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And thank you very much to the PTAs and the Target and Barnes & Noble that have supported our district.
My wife got sick last week and I got it, so.
So that brings us to,
See, we
let's
sat
chat a
here
little
so
bit.
you'd have to
Well,
walk
there's
past
audience
it.
comments. I think we can move on. Policy readings. Our first policy reading
Happy
would
Mary.
would be for it's a second reading
Reading.
for 4326 program for English language learners.
Go ahead.
So, the Board of Education would strive to ensure that all students, including English language learners, attain
Move
the
to waive
highest
further reading.
level of academics.
So this is our second reading. The impetus for this was it's required, I assume, by,
There were some changes to the ELL program.
ELL, ESL,
requirements.
NL.
And-
ELL,
Yeah, in terms of policy, eligibility for students, scope of service for students, we had a presentation back in the spring about some of the new regulations. We knew this was coming, and
and this incorporates those.
this incorporates those changes, and we made a couple tweaks in terms of a sort of a policy statement about the program. So we customized it a little bit.
We will remove the language about the
Remove the
bilingual.
bilingual stuff. Did you see the updated
No, I
one?
haven't.
Sorry.
Okay.
It's pretty much just reassuring what we already do.
Mhm.
It's not like any child was ever.
I think it's just the fact that it just came through and it was required. I think just sort of this is just sort of formalizes it, I guess.
Actually, I don't think we do this. Will be more effective learners of both the language and the curriculum if they receive instruction in both their native language and English. I don't think we do receiving instruction in native language. I know at one point, when my daughter was in the ELL program, there were 7 kids. They had Polish, Chinese,
That's referenced by them.
Spanish, and Japanese in one class, so I don't think.
I thought we took that out, Charles.
Yeah, you
Here.
have,
No, hold on 1 second.
yeah, that's an older
Is that an old one?
copy
This,
of it.
like, I printed this on Tuesday, not Tuesday, I think.
Yeah,
I
first
got it, I
paragraph.
did get it late.
Last sentence in the first
Carol, do you
paragraph
remember
of
when you
what we
said that?
approved is the district will
I
therefore
think it
take
was
steps to
Monday.
identify
Monday,
ELL
right.
students and provide ELL students with appropriate program of English as a new language.
Okay, so you,
Bilingual.
Yeah, this one,
This
this
is the
is
old
different. This
Yeah.
is the old one because I don't see bilingual in that
Yeah.
first.
well,
Okay.
this doesn't have the word
But that's
bilingual,
not-
it just, if they receive instruction in both their native language and English.
That's not this one he's reading from, right?
No.
Yeah, this is,
Okay, I see the limit. Because if you say that, then we have to provide, at one time we had like 10 or 12 different languages in our schools. So if you're gonna provide Korean.
This is assuming that one day, like, the lesson is taught in English, and the next day it's taught in Italian, and the next day it's taught in
No.
English, and the next day,
No,
so.
that's
I
not
thought
what
we
this
took
is.
that out.
If you receive instruction in your native language, that means you get some, if you're Spanish, if your native language is Spanish, you get bilingual instruction in both Spanish and
Right.
English. That's-
But I think it's more of a philosophical statement, Charles, because it goes on to say, therefore, the board.
No, you say, if, will be more effective learners of both the language and the curriculum if they receive instruction in both their native language and English. If you say that, then you have to provide instruction in both,
Yeah, we don't,
and we don't.
and we're not.
All right, so we'll have this back for a third reading.
Send it back to me.
Thank you, Carol. Sorry.
all right, so we'll
Where is
see
it?
that in about 2 weeks.
Wash your hands after you touch that, because I've got
Burn it.
conjunctivitis. I've got conjunctivitis.
Lori,
Good
he's
Lord.
got conjunctivitis.
You do now.
Wash your hands.
You better go
No,
get
you
the-
have to wash your
Just
hands.
Where's Joe? He'll show you where the
There's,
antibacterial.
yeah, it's right outside the door.
You touched it too.
Okay, we'll bring it back.
I wash my hands.
All right, so we will bring that
Yeah,
I
back.
wash
they'll
my
get
hands
us
and I
a
haven't
thing
touched my
earlier.
eyes since I came
Why are you
here.
here? You're not supposed to be here. Should we yell at him like somebody else got hurt?
All
My
right.
doctor told me I could come.
Okay.
Tell Joanne.
We'll bring it
All
back.
right,
We'll
so we'll
table
bring
it,
it back.
bring it
Our next policy is a first reading for regular meeting. Policy number 2310, and basically this just specifies, unless otherwise designated by the board, the regular meetings of the board shall be held twice a month from September to June at 7:30 p.m. The meetings will be held at the school or district office as
Yeah, this whole thing
designated
is
by the
not
board.
good.
It further goes, meetings are scheduled to consider and act upon specific items of business as listed in the agenda. Board members receive the agenda and related background materials in advance of the meeting. Agendas shall be posted for public review at least 24 hours prior to the meeting date on our website and sent electronically to the local media.
That was
And
the
this-
only change because it used to say fax.
Well,
And
the only-
we haven't faxed in a very long
The only
time.
question I have on that one is if we're thinking of changing the way we do our,
Change to a little bit more of a
more of
work.
a workshop on one and then more of an open meeting on the other, will we have to change that?
We will
then?
still do a work, but we're still going to continue. If we're going to incorporate more of a work session in one of our meetings, but we're still going to have where we can actually approve things and such and have the agenda because it's
No matter
still,
what.
the work still, we
We
still,
still-
otherwise.
Still
Okay,
gonna
I just-
meet
I just
twice
don't
a
know-
month.
I just
We're
don't know if we have to-
we're gonna wanna call them regular meetings, which allow
Us
to
the
have the
board to have
regular
the
session.
authority
I
to
do know
approve
the new
routine
way we're
business.
But you,
changing it,
you
we'll have to
still, I
change
think,
it.
have to have an agenda so you know what you're focusing
That's
on.
fine.
And the public knows
I
what
just
we're
wanna make sure
focusing
that
on.
we're going,
What
instead
was
of slowing
the-
down and having to redo it.
Yeah.
Right.
What was the timeline between publicizing it?
24
24
hours.
hours.
Is that the law? 24?
Yeah, as long as you have it to the public.
24 hours, okay.
Yeah.
For some reason I
You-
thought it
you
was
meet that.
72 hours.
You meet far different.
We always do it
Way
well
ahead.
before that.
Yeah.
Even when we have this,
Right.
those emergency meetings, those are always
Mhm.
posted.
Mhm.
They were,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, they have to be.
Okay.
This is only a first reading. It's only a revision, but we'll bring it back in 2 weeks. And if there's any thoughts, we can make any adjustments. But other than that, I
Pretty
think,
clear.
yeah. So we'll be revisiting that in 2 weeks as well. So, thank you. And that brings us to our superintendent's report.
Well, in the interest of time and board members who are sick, who are going to get everyone else sick. I would like to welcome Margaret, her first official board meeting. She has been very, very busy meeting and networking and speaking with our staff, and has already led a series of professional learning activities and has more on her desk than she thought manageable already. So welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And I will yield the rest of my time to you.
You don't
So
want
what's
to talk
the
about
most
how
fun
great
thing that
graduation
happened
was?
this week?
Oh, yeah.
Graduation.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
graduation
it's just
and
like
her
no one's
first day
here. I
this
feel
Graduation
Graduation.
they did a good job. The speeches were a little short, but that was okay. I don't mind that.
Short is good.
The montage that Sam Tetra put together was phenomenal. It just captured Matt.
It always is. It's
Matt,
good.
Matt was in there when the little boys watching when they all grew up. You know, even guys that have gone on. But it definitely hit home. I'm getting chills just talking about it right now. But it was again, the facility was
Special
good. The
day.
facility was great. Alice did a good job speaking. Joe did. Jim, the valedictorian, the salutatorian, did a good job. And it was just a good day had by all. So, you know.
Very nice. It always is.
Yep, and the facilities,
congratulations.
the
Oh, it's a
facility,
great
the
place.
facilities really make it good. Because there was a
It's
few other districts that were outside on that hot, really steamy
Yeah.
hot Friday night, and you know I talked to some of their parents, and they're like, "Well, I would have paid done anything to be inside an air conditioned, you know, nice auditorium." So
It is
the
wonderful.
district does a good job, and I got to give a lot of credit to the Secretary of Staff. They did a great job.
Yes, those
pulling it
ladies do.
together.
They pull it together.
They did a good job. They were right on point. It was seamless. So.
And the senior coordinators.
Senior coordinator. And I gotta tell you, the treble choir, they were great. You know, they did a great job singing. And, you know, the band and it all came together. The treble chorus, they do a great job every
Yeah,
year.
it's very
I mean, it's stuff they do.
It's a lot of work behind the scenes to make it happen, and it really shows.
Yeah.
So, but thank you, and congratulations to our graduates and the
Yep.
parents of them. Percy? That brings us to committee reports, but I don't believe that we've had any in the past 2 weeks, given everything, the end of year and graduations and such. It brings us to audience comments. And that brings us to board comments, new business. Anything?
I don't know, you could tell me not now and we're gonna get it, results for some of our Regents exams?
Yeah, they're in level one, in the level one input stage in our state report. What's in the state ed?
The Lorette,
Thank
we have, how many kids, how many of our 8th graders passed? We know that answer.
Oh,
That's
that,
not
Oh, yeah, I don't
Regents,
have
that's,
that.
that's ELA, isn't it? That's
No, I'm
the-
talking about the Regents, the
Oh, you
Algebra
mean
1
the-
Regents, the geometry, I can tell you mine
Living
very quickly.
environment?
No, the Algebra Common Core Regents, how many of our kids passed
I
it?
think I may have that.
Our geometry Regents, how many kids passed it? Our Algebra 2, our global,
No, you said 8th grade at one point.
well, our 8th graders took Algebra, how many of our 8th?
Our 8th graders took biology, and they took some of them took math.
Living, living environment.
And the Algebra.
All right,
Common Core.
Well, I
so
still call that
scores have
biology.
been put into level one. They're identifying any issues with reporting. Here's a quick summary.
That's the
uh,
3rd through 8th grade tests.
I asked for, also Regents go into the state reporting. So I asked for what are some of the issues between Common Core, ELA, and math in the region. So what we do know is 95.5% of our students passed the Common Core ELA exam, which was given June 2nd. Common Core
11th
Math
graders.
Regents, which was given
It's good though.
June 2nd. Algebra 1, 70% passing. On the Geometry Old Regents, 93% passing. Geometry Common Core, 92% passing. Algebra 2 and Trig, 70% passing. Integrated Algebra consists of retakes, 44 students, 60% pass rate. Comprehensive English, 67% pass rate.
That's a tough one though, because there's no more integrated algebra.
Yeah.
So for
And next year,
those-
there's not gonna be an Algebra 2.
So for those kids though,
That's it.
60 out of, so where are they gonna get their math Regents? What are we gonna do?
They have to take their Common Core Algebra. They have to take Common Core Algebra. This was the last,
I know.
so now they have to take Common Core.
Yes, but we've got what, 18 kids there.
Well, they're
Who have to take
offering
Common
in August.
No, that was the
retakes.
last integrated algebra.
Well, I talked to the state ed guy. Monday the 23rd, Monday the 24th, and they have slated for the old 2005 regions to be given on, I think, August 12th or 13th.
It's definitely
Either right before or right after the Common Core.
Because they made a special thing
Yeah.
last March for
And
one last.
And they had a
This-
guidance document in December about it. Yeah. So we can get a more detailed report when
2 weeks.
everything's entered, sure. I can't pull up the schedule.
Is that the information you were looking for, Lou?
How about mastery and what was the feeling about it? And I know how Marcia feels about it.
Well, we can get that
Yeah,
breakdown.
we can have more of a, not just a report, but a discussion on it.
Mhm.
All right, we'll do that.
Okay, thank you.
How did our graduation rate look?
I'm aware of 3 students that didn't graduate, whether that's a Regents exam issue or a credit issue, I'm not aware of, but I'm aware of 3, and I think all of them are registered for summer school. But we can sort of do a high school year end, particularly with the Common Core.
Graduation with Regents, okay. And the Common Core.
I don't have algebra listed as on the confirmation examen sheet for integrated algebra at all for August. Can't even order them.
What did our end of the year, when will we get our end of the year accounts? You know, budget versus actual. You know, we usually get a printout of what we spent versus what we budgeted. And then we'll get an audit.
Well, the audit is next week, so we have to have it ready by next week.
So we can get that either by the next
We'll have
meeting
it
or
done
early,
by
early August.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, anything else? Well, we're not having a second exec. I don't believe that's necessary. That would bring us to adjournment. Can I get a motion to close?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We'll meet again in 2 weeks on
Wednesday.
July
Thank you.
22nd.
Wednesday,
22nd.
July 22nd.